Today, we're going to talk about goal setting. It's really important to set a goal because a goal is what gives us direction and allows us to meet whatever sankalpa that we are setting or whatever we want to set out to achieve. So, what are the steps to goal setting? The most important thing is first to set a goal. So, a goal could be like, okay, I'm going to organize a happiness program. And in that happiness program, I'm going to make sure that I get 20 registrations. So, the next thing would be to come up with a detailed plan of how you would go about meeting your goal and the things that you would require to meet your goal, the number of people, and step by step coming up with how you're going to break it down to achieve your goal. Most importantly, is getting into action because action is what helps our goal materialize. It's not just enough to visualize it, but then self effort is required to make it happen. Then, very important to stick to the plan. You may set a plan and then say, okay, now I'm going to do something else. It doesn't work like that. After you've been working with your plan for some time, it's a good idea to step back and reevaluate. If you need to make changes, then course correct. And if everything is going great, then continue on the path that you are going and continue doing and celebrating your results and reaching your plan. Now, what should goals be? Goals need to be very specific. So, something specific would be okay, I'm going to organize a course for on May 13th to 15th with 20 people. It needs to be measurable, something that at the end you can say that, okay, I met my goal. So, putting a number to it is helps you make it measurable. Attainable, it's something that everybody agrees upon, and it's something that is achievable in the sense that, you know, if it's just you by yourself, then saying I'm going to bring 1,000 people at the moment based on your capacity and what your situation is may not be very tangible. So coming up with an attainable goal. Attainable goals are also very important because if you have a team, it can be very demoralizing for your team if you keep setting these really large targets and you don't meet them. It needs to be relevant to what you are doing, relevant to your team. Is everybody in agreement? Is it making sense? And what you need to do is also need to have it needs to be time bound. So not like, okay, I'm going to organize a course, which could be I'm going to organize a course, could be today, tomorrow, 3 months down the road, 6 months down the road. No, by within the next month, I'm going to organize a course. So it needs to be time bound. This is called SMART goal setting, and that helps us break it down and makes our goals achievable. Now, sometimes there are some mistakes we make, and I did talk about it earlier, but we set our targets very large. We make too many goals. Just have some based on your capacity, based on your team, looking at your time commitments and looking at your bandwidth, coming up with what you can do at that time. Goals need to be written down. If it's just something in your head and you've not discussed with your team or you've not spoken it out or you've not, written on a piece of paper where you've thought it through, it doesn't make sense. They need to be specific. Like I said again, not saying I'm going to organize a course for many people, having the exact number down. And the most important thing about setting a goal is also to form a team to help you execute the plan. Yes, alone you can get a lot done, but together the synergy is amazing and can help you achieve anything that you want. Now, what are the benefits of goal setting? Goals give us direction. They kind of provide, it's kind of like a roadmap. It checks where you're going, and it kind of keeps you honest along the way. It provides a challenge for you. If you are not meeting your goal, then it allows you to push a little bit more, step out of your comfort zone a little bit more. It energizes you and motivates you when you meet if you've broken your goal down, taking a goal and breaking it down. Say if you have a goal over a month, breaking it down by week and then by breaking it down by day, when you hit your daily goal, it kind of energizes you and motivates you to continue. It also allows you to think out of the box. If things are not happening or you have an aggressive goal, it allows you to think, okay, I've already done what I need to do, and things may have been successful or not successful, but I need to push myself a little bit more. So, what else can I do? And goals always bring you success, because when you break it down, when you think about it, and you've broken it down into smaller steps, it always brings success because it provides a roadmap. So, goal setting for courses. At a time, it makes sense to post 3 courses, So, if you're talking to people, then it allows them, um, it gives them an option to pick from either one course or the other course. And normally, people can check their calendars and pick one of the 3 dates. Launch your team about 4 to 6 weeks prior. It takes about 4 to 6 weeks to get your course going, and the team needs to have um, people with different experiences, in the sense that have at least one volunteer training graduate, a couple or more future VT graduates that you can help nurture, and then one or more new people who are just there to kind of connect, who you are going to connect with and nurture and bring them along. And then maybe down the road in the future, they can be your future VTP and teacher candidates. Together, once you have your course launch meeting, set a goal, to come together and set your sankalpa. Schedule your introductory workshops. Your workshops need to be half the number of your sankalpa of your course. So say if you want 20 people to come on the course, it makes sense to schedule about 10 intro talks. Have a game plan of what kind of talks you're going to do, break it down by dates, and maybe even assign each talk to a volunteer as the lead organizer. Always you follow up, but have someone to be accountable and take the ownership. When they have skin in the game, it motivates them and makes them feel important. And post all your workshops on Eventbrite. Eventbrite is a really good resource for us to be able to appeal to a lot more people. Not just on Eventbrite, you can also use other social channels such as Instagram and Facebook. Now, how are you going to figure out how many people you need to bring to each of the intro talks? So do the math. Based on the number of people you need to reach, 30% of the people show up and 30% of the people register. So say, for example, you need 10 people to come to a course, then you need to talk to about 30% more. That would be 30 people, and then you need to reach out or get RSVPs from 90 people. So that way you can break it down, and pretty much the rule of thumb is 30%. 30% of your RSVPs show up and 30% will register. What I have found that, what really works well is that if you're consistently doing some outreach every day, or for a few minutes, or at least setting aside 2 hours each week, it allows you to build your database of people who you can go to invite to the intro talks and to the courses. And it also gives you consistent activity with your team, where you are connecting and you are working towards something. So when the course comes, you don't feel the pressure. So homework for you guys is to create a plan for the next course you're going to organize with all the guidelines from this tutorial. It's really simple. Break it down. It's step by step. Go through the SMART goals, and I know you're going to do a fabulous job of creating an amazing course.